it up. Wow, Restream's picked it up already. Okay. YouTube, and YouTube's picked up. So I've had an issue with YouTube not picking up right away. So give it a moment, and then I shall connect my other tests to it. Actually, while I've done that, let's go to my Mac.
So see when you type in Amax Games to YouTube, ours now appears first because it's got 13 subscribers now.
Does it? Awesome. I had noticed that we were appearing in the first page, whereas before we had to search for it. So I had noticed that we were definitely getting better responses.
It could just be appearing first because I've been searching for it more actually.
Possibly. Let's go YouTube. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Two Idiots Learn to Code episode 8 is now live. I'm not a robot. Jeez. YouTube is now using captchas. First time I've seen that. Okay. Okay, you have to log in to like things. That's interesting. Okay. For some reason, we're not showing us live on YouTube elsewhere yet. In fact, come on. There we go. Episode 8 is now live on there. Awesome. Okay, 3 viewers. Okay, I'll go check on the other ones. I was talking about, those people that get garden offices. And I was like, considering I'm considering doing the whole touring thing, maybe rather than have a garden office, I'd actually just have a caravan. And have that kitted out like an office, and then that way when you're actually going touring, you just take it with you. And I was looking at those like little caravans, like the like really compact ones. And I was looking at ones that fit in the bed of a pickup truck. I was like, that'd be even better because then you've got a pickup truck, and then if you want, take it with you. They're stupidly expensive.
Right, so what's the difference in price between caravans and motorhomes?
You'll pick up an entry-level caravan for less than 20k. You won't pick up an entry-level motorhome, brand new, obviously. You won't pick up an entry-level motorhome for less than 65.
Then if you add the price of a motor onto like the caravan, you'd have to have like a decent sized motor to tow it.
Well, that's the thing. It's going to get even harder because milk floats can't tow. So your electric cars can't tow worth crap. Your top of the line Tesla can tow 1.3 kilos.
Well, a Cybertruck.
A Cybertruck can pull that, but they're illegal in the UK. They're too heavy. They're classed as lorries. Not 1.3 kilos, 1.3 ton, 1,300 kilos. But your average caravan, like unless it's one of those dinky ones, where the sofas become the beds or that, you're talking they're 1,600. So you're really looking at an SUV. Even Dad's Sportage can't tow a modern caravan. But I'd be
what would you need? A big Ford Ranger or something?
I was looking at a Ford Ranger. It can tow 3.5 ton. But then you've got the disadvantage of the fact that they're classed as commercial vehicles. So you've got to pay commercial insurance and everything like that. That'd be one of those things that if we were making enough money, the company could get. But the problem is that if let's say that we were making enough of this and the company bought 2 of them, and you drove one and I drove the other, in theory, totally fine. But if it's not a pool car with other people, not just me driving it or not just you driving it, then it becomes what's known as a BIC, a benefit in kind. So we then get taxed on the benefit in kind.
So you couldn't have Dad driving anything like that?
Oh, we could, but he would have to be. It would more be the company owned the vehicle, and he was basically like a contractor, like an Uber rider, something like that. So he would only be, as far as I'm aware, he'd only be valid for the tax for that particular section. It's only if he's got 24/7, 365 access to it that it's a problem. But again, this is stuff that we're going to end up with lawyers and whatever that we're going to have to kind of deal with. Going forward, trying to think of that. Right. Okay. So I think we're all checked out in our various resolutions at the moment. So hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 8 of Two Idiots Learn to Code. This is Amax Games Limited, and I am Amax Games Davie, or just Davie for short. I am one of the 2 idiots learning to code, and we have our other idiot, John, here.
How we doing, guys?
And today we're working on our Brain Drain application, our Brain Drain game. In the previous episode, we had serious issues, and it turned out to be a picnic error. The problem was in the chair, it was not in the computer. Because I was trying to test the game directly, the game scene directly. It wasn't working correctly. It kept defaulting to one of their modes, and that's because the mode's actually set here in the main menu. So the mode was never changing in the save mode, which meant the mode was never changing. So we do have to make a couple of changes to this. I do want to work on the user interface today, and I also want to see if we can add a banner ad to the, what's it called? I want to add a banner ad to the stats page, right? So we can test how we could potentially monetize that in a moment. So John will be throwing in his 2 cents every time he possibly can to try and assist. We will completely go off track. If you watched the previous one, we went way off track, and that's the whole point in this. We're just 2 guys trying to make the best of what we're doing and try and make it fun and just have a laugh while we're doing so. And hopefully we come out with a game at the end of it that you guys like and enjoy. So with that in mind, let's continue with this. So welcome to episode 8. And what do you think we should do first, John? Should we try and fix the issue with the game mode not showing?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good starting point.
Okay. Let's open the menu then. So not open the main menu, but we need to open the main game scene. Okay. Right. So this looks like garbage at the moment because I was just trying to get everything I needed on screen at a time, right? So for example, the reset button down the bottom, that's only there for debug mode. So I can turn that off by going in here and clicking turn off. Oops, that turned everything off because I turned the canvas off, not the reset button. So if I select the reset button, I can turn that off and that'll disappear. Right, so something else I need to be aware of in here is I've been using Unity version control in this one, Joe, testing it. So the previous one, I can't remember, I added the main menu. So the main menu and intro was added in the previous one. Stats page added with database and app version. So what I'll do is I'll update this and I'll just check this in. Let's save it before it goes. Okay, so that's the updated version change. I need to work out how to use this actually correctly because I think this would be a lot easier. It could mean that we could split bigger projects between us rather than working on separate projects, but for the time being. We'll go with that. So again, don't know how much you've been playing about this in your own, John. So this is designed using a canvas. Basically, everything in user interface has to go on a canvas so it doesn't show. Inside the canvas, we have a vertical layout group, which is why everything's sort of laid out the way it is. And I've just basically, if we select any of the icons with the resize on, so for example, the question text, you can see I just made that really large, so there's a large area for the text. And if you look at the score, the score is just sitting a bit too far over to the side, so there's little things that we could probably tweak in here. And obviously I've got a debug text box up the top here. So yeah, just been playing around with this. I think the submit, to be fair, I think that looks fine. I think the text box looks fine. To be fair, I even think the question looks fine. I think we probably just have to move the score across.
Yeah.
And we need to fix this graphic because that's annoying the crap out of me, and I'll fix it across the board if we do that. I'm not worried about this debug one up the top. I really don't care that that's sitting there because it's not visible most of the time. This is purely for our benefits. So if I go in here, I should hopefully be able to move this across. Oh, and it's not letting me. Right, so why is it not letting me? So, score text. Why is score text not letting me? Because it's aligned to the top and the left, that's why. So if I center align that, does that help? Can I now move it? No, I can't. So it must be
in the scene, you need to change it to the wee hand icon because that's a resizing you're trying to do, isn't it?
No, it's not. That's resizing. That's the move.
That's it. Oh,
so I think it's because the anchor is set. I keep forgetting key combinations for these. Do you know what? There's another way to do it. Let's score text. I wish it would stop zooming in. I like the fact that I can see both the scenes at the same time. Like I've got the split screen going on, but it can be really annoying when it zooms in like that. So for some reason, there's no way for me to change the position here, which is interesting. I bet you I just need to stretch this. I bet you it's because it's center aligned. So if we look at the canvas, yeah, upper center for the child alignment. So I bet you that's what it is. So if I go to score text and zoom in, there we go. So we can leave a score there. Brain drain's fine where it is, I think. Any suggestions and other tweaks? I was thinking I could change this to the same type of button that the rest of the buttons are and add the hover mode to it from the main menu. So if you notice in the main menu, when I hover over them, they pop up. Although maybe having that is slightly different because you have to click submit would be a good idea. So tell you what, we'll leave that just now, right? But what we'll do next then, since I don't know what else we're going to change in here for now, is we'll go in and we'll edit the icon. We'll edit the graphic, right? So graphic is under sprites and it is the brain drain icon. So if I double click on that, should open up. Okay, I can click on edit. You can see it's just like a splat down in the corner. And this is why it was difficult to see it. Okay. So, I mean, I could crop it out. What if I just click erase? Does that kind of work? I don't know if that works. Actually, you know what? Let's cancel that, right? Because if I close that out, I should be able to open this in GIMP. Because GIMP's a lot easier to
Was that Gemini that you got that? You set that up in? You designed that?
Yes, Gemini for all of my graphics that I've used for these.
Aye, that because it looks like a lot cleaner than it.
Mm-hmm. Where did GIMP go? Okay, GIMP's opened my third monitor, just to be awkward. Right. So if I do that, I should be able to grab this, drag it in here, which I can't. His size now, come on. It's a bit on the big side. I should probably shorten that down. Can I do that and then delete? I can. And then just do file and save. Nope. Save it as an XCF. I don't want to do that. So in that case, it's overwrite brain drain.png. There we go. I should be able to close that now. Come on. Discard changes. Okay, and there we go. It's gone. Right. So we wanted to show the game mode, didn't we? So that's under Quizmaster. So game mode.text should show. Do you know what? I'm going to move it to the, because I'm going to disable the question time, because that was just for me to keep track of the databases, the questions in the database. And what we're going to do is we're going to use, Jesus Christ, we're going to use the debug for showing the game mode. Although technically we could just add it to score. That's maybe something to consider. So if I just grab my debug over here and drop the game mode on it, okay, and try hitting play, it will probably change to something else because it's set to round at the moment. Change to lives. Why did it change to lives? Okay, so lives is also right into debug. That's fine. Right, let's stop that just now. Oh, it's recompiling again because of my dodgy mouse. Let's try again. Okay, so if I just delete lives from the debug, hopefully it should show the game mode. If it doesn't, no, it's not outputting the game mode correctly, and then we can go ask ChatGPT some new questions. Okay, mode equals hardcore. Right. Interesting. So why wasn't it shown when I put it in question count? Okay. It'd be nice if I could work out how to put two of them in the same row, because having the score and the game mode in the same row would be useful.
Aye.
Need to think about that. To be fair, there's a lot of stuff that's not actually being used at the moment in this script. Okay, I think that's sorted those little issues. So save that for now. Let's go back to ChatGPT. Okay. Can I have score score text and game mode text go on the same line. And it doesn't really, I suppose technically it would need to do it every time, wouldn't it? Okay, nah, that's not a good idea. I think maybe just leaving it at the top under the debug one's possibly the solution then
Aye.
for the time being. Again, once we get better skilled at this, I'm pretty sure we'll find out better ways of doing it. I think that is a good way of doing it, but I would prefer it to still be two separate
Aye.
two separate parts just in the same line. But I suspect that would mean that if we go back to our canvas, that we would need our horizontal layout group and our vertical layout group, and inside our vertical layout group also have a horizontal layout group.
Aye.
And that's too many variables for my brain to comprehend at the moment. Okay, so let's.
That's all things that can get tweaked later.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, in that case, I think we save this and go to the main menu. And we try and add an advert to the debug thing. So open scene, scenes, main menu, open. Okay. So on our main menu screen, in the stats panel, I'd like to put a banner ad. Can you help me set this up from scratch? Enable ads in your project. Okay. Go to Edit Project Settings and Services. Edit Project Settings. And Services. Okay. Enable ads, link your Unity project to a Unity dashboard project. Okay. Interesting. So this seems to be all right. So technically, it looks like it's already linked. So Unity project's linked to it. Okay. It doesn't show me the enable ads part, though, is not there.
Yeah.
Right. So let's open the dashboard. It says page not found. His own dashboard opened the wrong page. Right, okay, so interestingly, it opened the page for Splatter Brawl. So that'll be why it's not there. Okay. So let's just go over here. So in this case, I'm looking for Brain Drain. Okay. Get 6 people watching, that's awesome. Oh, and we also have a wild kitten appearing. So, Miss Sebral, we do actually think that we will have a true and false version, so like a true and false mode, and potentially also a multiple choice questions mode that's more than true or false. So that's definitely things that we've considered. At the moment, we're just trying to, I think, deal with what we've got at the moment and try and push that out. But thank you for the suggestions. See, I can't actually, I've not got it open to reply directly, so I've been talking the answers to people, but I probably should actually put it in chat as well, shouldn't I? Yeah, thanks for the suggestion. We are looking at multiple choice mode and a true false mode for future updates. Okay, so it also shows them interacting with chat if I do it that way. It's amazing how much that takes me out of my takes me out of my zone. Right, so okay, so we're inside here. This is for brain drain. Services, presumably. I'm poking around in here because I've never done this before. Interesting. Somebody dropped off, according to our stats by the looks of it. And then Anna joined and jumped back on. Okay, so active services. What? Unity ad monetization. I'm thinking it's Unity ad monetization. Yeah. Okay, and click on that. Oh, there's the enable ads that we were talking about.
Perfect.
Okay, so enable ads. I'm just going to do it as a private individual just now. I'm going to move this off screen. I can't move it off screen. Awesome. United Kingdom. Oh, it doesn't let me do that. Try again. There we go. Submit. Do not ask me for billing information at this point. Oh, so median boosts ad revenue and fill rates by having multiple ad sources compete for impressions.
So see if you go to that mediation, you can click Google Ad.
Yeah, so Unity select your multiple media. So Google Ad Mobile Ad. So of course Google Ad Mobile. I don't know how well that works on Apple products in a sheet pen.
Yeah.
So we'll go with the recommended options for just now. That seems fair. Presumably we can always change this in the future. So we'll go with next. Do you want to use sense from an existing project? No, I want to start fresh. Next. My app is not live in the App Store yet. The store IDs are used to fetch store information such as app category and icons, or ad network. Note that it can take up to 7 days for newly published games to show in your lookup. If you cannot find your published game in lookup, try again later. Okay. Don't forget to enter your store IDs after your project is published to maximize revenue opportunities. If a game hasn't been published yet, you can always add the IDs later. You can find the store ID in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. At some point, John, have you registered for your Google license? That's a no then.
No.
Okay.
Did we not do that at one point?
No, we looked at doing it for the company, and then we stopped because we wanted it to be linked to a company bank account. I, however, have actually signed up for a personal license. It's 25 quid. It's a negligible amount of money. Okay. I don't know how much of that should actually be visible, to be honest. But oopsie. If not, ensure you're using all the source ADK. If you're using Unity Editor, see how to install SDK. Okay. Follow instructions in the unit. Oh, jeez, you'd think it would just be like, hey, go and do this. You might need the references to following IDs. Okay. Let's just finish this just now. Okay. Install SDK required. Optimize your setup and setup guide. Let's try and optimize your setup. Install the Unity SDK. I'm pretty sure I've got the Unity adds SDK. But you know what? Let's just go for it. And of course, we're trying to test the app to go live at the moment, but hey. Game. Oh my god, just give me the darn link. I hate websites that do this. It's just link after link after link. Right, okay. So we're using the Android SDK.
Would you say you used a personal account to sign up for it?
I did, yeah. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from using your John.Maxwell Max Games one. I did mine under Google to test it. Install Unity adds SDK for Android. Right, that's what I'm trying to do. Android SDK, Java 8. Really? Really? How about I click a button and it does it for me? This is just taking me in circles. Okay, enable ads, link Unity projects, Unity monetize it. Okay. Go to dashboard.unity.com, select your project, go to monetization platforms, grab your game IDs. You also need to placement for ID and planners. Usually banner by default. Okay. Create a new script called addmanager.cs. Yeah, one of the other modes that we were thinking of, Anna, was a mode where, because the questions are in 3 different difficulties, you select a category, and then it starts you with the kind of lower end questions, and then after so many questions, bumps you up to the next level of questions, and then the next. I think it's around a 40-40-20 split. So 40 easy, 40 medium, 20 hard. Okay, so it was wanting me to create a new script, wasn't it? Okay. Great. C script manager.cs. No. Come on. Come on. You've got a new machine. Is Unity slowing your machine as it is for mine? Like with compiling? Or is it just because my machine's showing its age now?
No, mine still takes a bit of time.
Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Right click. Rename. No. Right click. Rename. No. Right click. Rename. There we go. Okay. Now we can open our ad manager. I've thought something else to add on to the stat screen if I've not done it yet, whether or not we're running a developer build. Come on. Okay. Let's go back to our guru, copy. Interesting. Lots of errors. So Android game ID, so that probably needs me to go back here, go back to our dashboard. Ads. Okay, plain drain. There's our IDs. Placements. Okay. Soundboard. Settings. What App Store ID? No. Actually, no, that's fine. Game ID. Okay. Google Store ID. Banner placement ID. I don't know what my banner placement ID is. Right. It's interesting that no wonder if that's because I've not set these up yet. Not like that, but hey ho. Okay. Let's go back to our guru. So I've pasted that in. Yeah, I've done that. Add manager script to the status control panel game object. Okay, and then add these. Okay. Status canvas. Pretty sure stats manager is the control object. Yes. So is it stats panel controller it wants me to add these to? Yeah. Add manager script to your stats control panel game object. And stats panel, yeah, okay. So it's a stats panel controller script. Stat panel controller. Okay. So show stats and hide stats. Okay, so we've already got show stats and hide stats, that's why. Okay, so let's move these out of the way. Let's control X on these, bring that in up to the top. There's your show stats and hide stats. So interesting. Their show stats is smaller than my show stats. So does it mean we need to set panel, set active, then I've got the add manager. Okay, so the close panel.set active is missing. Okay. So that's the show stats, hide stats. Also equals panel.active. Okay. Okay. Make sure you drag Add Manager and Field Inspector. Add Manager script to your stats control panel. Okay. So Add Manager control panel into my stats manager object. Make sure you drag Add Manager into Field in the Inspector. Not sure I like this. Oh, interesting. Inside the editor, it doesn't even show you test ads.
We just basically see it with the logs.
Yeah. Okay, I'm still looking to see. Still showing to be a problem. Okay, let's go back here. Red underlining. Okay. System.collections. Okay, that fixed that one. Doesn't fix the advertisement one though. So, full banner when ready. No. So in that case, okay, advertisement has a red underline.
Sorry, I'm setting up this Google thing if I go a bit quiet.
Yeah, no worries. You'll need your passport or driving license to verify.
I take it just a picture of my camera all day.
Yes, but I had to take a few before I accepted it. Okay, so perhaps the add package isn't installed, right? Windows Package Manager. Window Package Manager, look for advertisement. I don't think I'm using the older version, to be fair. I'm using version 6. Yeah, no package manager in there, so it's probably unit mediation I'm missing. Apparently not. Windows Services service window. Window Services. No. Oh, there's Package Manager. Advertisement. Come on. Window. Package Manager. Oh, there's it. There's nothing here for advertisements. Okay. So how do I search? Okay, it's not there. Add package by name. Add there. Okay, awesome. None of these work. Fantastic. So I think it's the SDK that's missing. So back to where it was doing this whole stupid click here, click here, click here. In Unity, I think that's what's missing. You would think they'd make this a lot easier, considering this is what they actually want you to do. I mean, they're making money from you at this point. Just give me install the SDK in Unity. This is shocking. Like, there's no middle ground here. There's no click here to install. There's no direct instructions on how to do this. Window Package Manager. Trade Unity Registry is selected as a package type. Okay, so Unity Register. Navigate through package, look for advertisement legacy, click install and update. Okay, was it not add mediation that I just installed? That was what set up, wasn't it? Train project D. This is not primary target children, disabled. Okay. Do you know what? Sod it. Install. And I'll install the legacy one as well. Once it finishes. It'd be nice if Unity realised when you're trying to use something that was in one of their packages, it's part of their application. It was like, you know what? Hey, when you go here, Is this what you're looking for? These are the droids you're looking for. Come on. Did you get yourself a new phone, John?
No, I know yet. Don't really know what to get, to be honest.
Get into your closest store. Just try them out. And presumably the one you're using at the moment is going to become your Amax phone for testing.
Aye.
The same way my old phone became my Amax phone. Man, you need slow. I really wonder if it's as slow in Apple's products, actually. Because I reckon a lot of development's done on Mac simply because the Androids get the larger iOS has got the larger audience in America, whereas in Europe it's still Android that's winning. But I can easily see that getting um, less and less of an issue. I can see iPhone taking over here as well, simply because there's no difference in price in them anymore, realistically. In fact, I'm pretty sure the top end iPhone is actually cheaper than the top end Samsung Galaxy now. Realistically, what we might actually have to um, realistically, what we might actually have to do is take a trip to some European country, for example, Portugal, and go into something like Wotan and be like, I'll have that phone, and I'll have that phone, and I'll have that phone, because we don't really have many Chinese brands here for testing phones anymore. So affordable testable Android devices, most of them are like flagship or near enough.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like over there, you can get cheaper phones. Again, not necessarily worse phones, but when we're testing things, we're going to want to test it in a potato, and we're going to want to test it in something decent as well. You know what I mean? Install this one too. Yeah, so I don't really know. That might be a thing. We might need to do the same thing with tablets. Although I think you can still get the odd tablet over here that isn't a Samsung or an iPad. I think you still have Acers and stuff, although Google doesn't really do any of its tablets over here anymore that I can recall.
Yeah.
Okay, that's them installed. Dun, dun, dun. And it's still giving me errors. Womp womp. Come on. Okay, so the advertisements are different. Unity mediations, apparently not an issue. So let's take that out since Unity advertisements is now showing. Okay. So let's say that we've got an error with this one, which is here. This is a lot harder than I actually thought it would be, to be fair. I thought they'd be like click, click, done for this kind of thing, simply because so many games are advertisement friendly. Yeah, exactly, Anna. Xiaomi is a thing over there, and so is Huawei. And is it Me Too or Me Phone or something? Um, and again, it might be that it's going to be worth mine and John's while jumping over there. taking a couple of cheap flights, spending a week out there drinking, writing code in the sun, drinking Super Bock, and coming back with a few separate phones.
Sounds like a plan.
It's something that definitely needs considered. So it tilts me through all that and then goes, oh, actually, you're using the wrong version. Go to Windows Unity Services, enable ads. Really? I honestly just think at this point it's taken something. Looking like shrimps is what comes to mind. Oh, I think you mean lobsters, Anna. As in we've got burnt with the weather. What was it? Windows. Go to Window, Unity Services, which isn't there. I love it when it tells us for things that isn't there. So I did install the advertisement package from the Unity registry. It didn't change.
27 degrees in Portugal now.
Yeah. It was 40, was it 49, 39 earlier on when Anna sent me a picture from the car.
I don't know if I could cope in that heat.
But that's the thing though, like if we were literally going over there, especially if it was for work, we'd be sitting in the shade somewhere with our laptops out and a couple of super box, or we'd be sitting in the hotel room with the aircon on. In fact, to be fair, the last time I was there when they were cleaning the room, shrimps, lobsters, it would be the same. It's almost midnight. um, there's also like a kind of business area in the hotel I was in the last time. I say business area, it's basically just an area that's upstairs and away from the general thoroughfare. It's not even like there's no like walls or anything, it's just like its own little mezzanine kind of there. We could sit and work there, and it's right next to the canteen, the bar stroke coffee place. So we could even go into the restaurant and have a coffee, or they've got seats outside with a view over Benfica Stadium. I mean,
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I mean, so there's plenty of places that we could, we could go and chill out. Or the thing about it is, you can basically get a beer anywhere there. So we could literally like stick our laptops in the bag and go for a wander. Just pick a random place and go in for a coffee or a cold beer. Like you can get beer at McDonald's, I'm sure. Um, it's literally everywhere, and it's not that expensive. And I mean, if we're a supermarket, you'll get a litre of beer for like a euro to €1.50. So that's 2 pints for 1.50.
Crazy, innit?
Um, don't get me wrong, the Jack Daniels is expensive. It was £12 or £13 a shot. To be fair, I think it's a double shot, but even still, that's still expensive. But a bottle's only like €26, so we could get a bottle of that and just sit in the hotel. And of course, there's a fridge in the hotel as well. Um, you know, so it's definitely an option.
Yeah.
Um, don't know if you've seen Facebook today, but uh, Axl Rose was at the GP, the Grand Prix, and
Aye.
he was actually posing like with some of the folk and getting his picture taken. It's quite funny. He's got the VIP. He's got the lanyards on for the various access areas, and one's actually literally got pit crew VIP written on it. It's like you can guarantee he's just rocked up and somebody's been like, Axl Rose is here. Do you want to come backstage? Do you want to come and see the pit lanes? Because it looked um, so like rush job. You know what I mean? Like it was as if somebody just put some masking tape over one of the lanyards and wrote VIP on it. Um, but yeah, it was quite funny to see him doing that. But the rumours are that Guns N' Roses are going to announce a final tour and a final album to go along with it. And if they do that, I don't really care where they are, even if it means us
Going to
going.
London or something.
Well, even if it means going to London or potentially going abroad, like we just need to make sure that we book that week off. So
Uh,
go for a holiday. So even if they don't turn up, you know what I mean. If it gets delayed for whatever reason, we're still out there and having a holiday for the time being.
well, see when they played in Budapest, apparently that was really good. And that stadium that they played at's like a lot of massive bands play there.
Hmm.
So, and Budapest was brilliant, so that's like an idea.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, pretty much anywhere.
They played in Portugal and all, did they know?
They did. It was Cumbria, but it was right in the middle. Yes, you can get beer at McDonald's. Um, it was right in the middle between Lisbon and Porto. See if it had been closer to one of them. What I would have said is we'll book a week in Porto or Lisbon, wherever it was, but we'll also book a night. The night of the gig, we'll book locally. So that way we don't need to worry about trains or anything like that.
Aye.
Because the one thing that Portugal does seem to have its act together with is public transport. So I don't think we should have had issues with actually getting anywhere. Um, and doing that. So, but definitely something worth considering, especially if they announce a farewell tour. To be fair, I think if they announce a farewell tour, it's going to be a farewell tour from heck. Um, I think it's going to be a big tour. Like they're going to
Mm-hmm.
go to Wimbledon. I don't think they'll come back to Scotland, to be fair. Um, the rumours are that the gig at Bellahouston was a bad turnout, but I didn't think so. And again, we were there, and sure we'd had a fair scoop on us, but I wouldn't trade the amount that we paid for that gig for the world.
Well, I think part of the reason it was a bad turnout was probably a lot of people, see, because they were messed about with the cancellations and all that.
Yeah,
Like, just never had any faith that it was actually going to go ahead.
yeah, indeed. Help about Unity. Do you see advertisements and mediation in the package? Okay. This has really slowed us down, and I think this is, an annoying thing. It doesn't tell me anything. Um, this is what's slowing us down. This is where AI is not really very helpful, because what the AI is telling us is nonsense, effectively. Um, so we've added advertisements and we've added ads mediation. And yet we're not seeing this, basically. Is ads enabled in the service panel?
You did enable the ads, didn't you?
I did, but that wasn't in the service panel, because I don't know where the service panel is. Because I'm sure it said services. Okay. So services is basically the package manager. That doesn't bloody. monetization. In-app purchase. That's monetization. Okay. Yeah, so it is enabled. Let's go back to the code, see if it's still complaining. Yes, it is. Right. Okay, here's my code. What is ready start error? Let's try that. Okay, so let's do so ads mediation is enabled. Enabled. In services panel. But code still shows is ready with a red underline. The old API advertisement is ready now. Perfect. You're confirming that Unity ads will also enable that experience of everything. You're now using Unity Mediation on UG ads, which means the old API advertisement does not work anymore. You need Unity Mediation banner ad setup. We'll replace the old advert-based banner code. Okay, step by step. Retrieving this ads mediation is able via services panel. Yep. Unity package manage Unity Mediation. Yep. Your game is linked to Unity project. Yep. Okay. Okay. So we'll do. Just want me to create a new script. So let's do that. I can see us having redundant code after doing this actually. So let's close this. Are you on to register your account?
I've sent all the documents in that way, so it does say it could take a couple of days. So.
Oh right, mine like yeah, it happened in no time. Like
Oh really?
oh yeah, absolutely no time at all. Great. C# script. Did that open? I don't want it to be open. There's a heck of a lot more to enable banner ads than I would expect. I have to admit. This is so far beyond what I was expecting. Okay. Still tell me instrumentation doesn't exist. Grrr. Okay. It's my Android game ID, doesn't it? Okay. iOS game ID. It'd be nice if it could do. If we can write one set of code that actually works for both, that'd be perfect. But I've got a funny feeling that they've deliberately made it difficult to do that. Okay. Okay. I hate that I just seem to be going around in circles at this one. Because I've now got other things that are underlined. Install mediation proper. Window package manager. In the top left drop down, select new registry. Search for Unity mediation. There is no Unity mediation. Mm. iOS 14 advertisement support. In-app purchasing. Advertisement mediation. It shows. Go to dashboard. When Unity's dashboard doesn't work, and you really have to wonder how much of it's your fault and how much of it's theirs.
Yeah.
I'm kind of determined to get this to work, but I'm getting kind of annoyed at the moment. Need to go check on Spiky. I shall be back in a momento. Okay, I'm thinking my only solution here is to look for a tutorial. Because I'm just hitting brick wall. So let's have a look. Unity, add, Unity banner, add, tutorial. Have you seen the trailer for the new Naked Gun?
Aye.
I have to admit, I thought that was quite smart. I really did. Unity should not make this so difficult. There's probably people who code Unity all the time screaming at their machines, it's fine, you're doing this wrong, you're an idiot, do it this way. Okay. I was going to look at some tutorials, but they're 20 odd minutes long. Question is, do I abandon this and try and look at something else just now? Excuse me. Or do I persevere? To be fair, I think I persevere. It's clock is 17 minutes. Right. Don't know if this audio will come through on screen, so I'm going to mute my desktop audio. And hopefully I can still hear it. So I'm just muting out to the stream. And hopefully when I hit play it doesn't pick yours up either. So let's find out. So according to that, there should be a project settings. And I know it's going to be something stupid that we're doing, like so build settings, Android, switch platform. Okay, we're already on the Android platform. Build settings, project settings. Sorry, menu and then project settings. So let's try that. Okay, project settings. Right, this is where we were. So previously there was an ads one under there. Is ads hiding anywhere else in here? Doesn't look like. Okay. Let's see what else it says. It's obviously using an older version of Unity. Okay. We'll go to the dashboard, sign into Unity. This really isn't anything different from what we did before. Okay. Back to gaming, go to monetization ads. Get started, apply use mediation. I'll apply ads. Okay. So they're doing it a completely different way from us. Awesome. Next tutorial. The glamorous side of DevOps and coding. Come on. Wine. Install a new nest. Okay. Advertisement like sponsors. Click install it. Fair enough. So we seem to have followed all the steps, we just don't seem to be doing very well. And it doesn't help that YouTube obviously works on retention time, watch time, which means that people just go on about pointless crap rather than getting to the point. Like literally we're 3 minutes in here and he's shown nothing. So package manager, registry, ads, add mediation and advertisement legacy. They're using a legacy one, of course they are. Okay. Maybe we made the wrong decision. I don't know. There has to be a solution for this. Somebody's bound to have done it. Okay, that one's trying to do Google Ad Mobile. Again, not what we're trying to do. Oh, man. It just shows you how quickly you can be slowed down with this, though. Unity level play. Nope. Integrate Unity level play. It's not how to integrate Ad Mobile ads. No. Ad Mobile versus Unity ads, which is better? I love how none of this is answering my question. How to set up Unity ad mediation on an Ad Mob account. Okay. I wonder if it's because the wrong project is linked. Link project. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, select organization. Maxwell. Select a project. Brain drain. Project. Cloud project. Yes. Okay. Head to the dashboard. Link work this time, I think. Yep. Okay, I am the owner. That's correct. Unity Enhance Mobile. Okay, Unity Enhance are corrected. Okay. So placement. Banner Android. Okay, so that's more seeing where your clicks have came through. That's not related to anything useful. At least not at the moment. So earnings is not useful. Ad controls not useful. Testing. Uses model set up in the device to verify your third-party mediation authentication. Don't really care. Level play doesn't exist. Interesting. I wonder if that's part of the problem. Organizational overview, reporting, ad controls. So again, this is across all games setup. View collaboration, finances, API management, organizational settings. Right. So I'm still no further forward as to what the problem would be with this. So can I change these then? Maybe I need to change the type of ad. I don't actually know. And this is why it's called Two Idiots Learn to Code. Actually, I mean, it just bounces between them. It's not like it gives me any. There's no feedback. There's no, you know. There's no arrow. Nothing pointing to say, "Hey, you idiot! This is what you're doing wrong." Members. Can you add new members? Okay, so I can add people to collaborate. Go to services. Okay, what's in setup? Click on that. It's just going to take me to, yes, it's going to take me here. I'm at a loss with this one. Like, okay, let's try something a little different. Okay, since it appears that Unity's just been a pain in the backside. To be fair, it actually looks like it's not installed the mediation SDK correctly. I mean, that really does look like what it's up to. So why don't we try removing it? We'll remove the legacy one as well, and then we'll reinstall it. Failing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and ask Gemini to see if it can help me. Okay, that's removed. And remove the legacy one. Well, there's a configure option for that. That's interesting. Okay, so now let's install remediation separately. What I've been looking at recently for no other reason than it's amazing to see what people do with them. People who've bought old military trucks, like people carriers and stuff like that, and made them into mobile homes. Some of them are just unbelievable. Like, they had the bed that dropped down from the ceiling, but it was like the way it dropped down because of the way it was built looked like a four-poster bed that hovered when they dropped it down. Showers that basically fold all the way into the wall, so they don't take up space when they're not in use. Yeah, some people have got like, I guess, way too much time and money, to be fair, because none of that's going to be cheap.
I'm going to say that would cost a fortune, man.
Yeah.
Like I see videos of people who like convert vans into homes,
hmm
but the money they spend, like, it must be cheaper just to buy a
Well,
mobile home.
well, I mean, a second-hand one probably. But the thing is, the people who are building them themselves are building them specifically for their needs. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not buying one off the shelf. That's also a point, Anna. Uber's cheap in Portugal, so we could literally move about. So we could go um, find a cafe with a sea view, for example, if we were working there, or find a rooftop bar or something. But no, if you see a lot of people that have built custom things, like some of them will have fitted things that you just wouldn't get in a standard mobile home, like a wood burning stove.
Aye.
That's probably an extreme example, but some of the people who was one guy, he had a truck camp, what they called, truck caravan, where it basically sits in the liner of the truck and screws down into that. It's quite small and compact, obviously, but the bed's usually over the cab of the truck, so it's kind of like a cross between them. But he likes to take his pickup truck out in the middle of nowhere, and like I mean, in the middle of nowhere. And there's visions of him where he's got like 3 and 4 foot icicles hanging from the truck from when the rain hit the previous night. It was so cold, and he's sitting on the side there quite a thing because he fitted a coal burner to it, a log burner to it. And then you look at the ones that are made professionally, that are like £2 million, like the Overland Rover or something it's called, and you're like, wow, that's unbelievable. But I mean, I suppose realistically, if you were looking to try and cut costs, uh, commercial property is expensive. So a couple of porta cabins or a couple of caravans, then you can move them about as long as you've got the place to put them on. Can probably save money in the long run. And that's been reinstalled. So has that solved our problem? I'm guessing it probably hasn't, because I don't actually think that the problems with that. Nah, the problems with somehow there's now 2 errors. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Using directive is unnecessary. The namespace name mediation does not exist as its namespace. Okay. Well, let's try a sneakier way. Let's try the banner at part. Let's see if it's underlined. So it's something you don't really get too much in the UK either. Is mobile homes towing caravans. So like there's like the front part of the mobile home and like the caravan or the trailers kitted out as an office or something. That'd be quite amusing. Like having like family working in the or touring in the mobile home part, and then when you get whatever you want, you unpacking into the trailer to use it as an office. We've seen people do it with boats as well. Like they've got the big narrow boats, and then they're towing what they call a butty, which is like basically an engineless, smaller boat behind them, and the smaller boat set up like their office. So they've got like working plane. If Banner doesn't land in bed, mediation SDK didn't install correctly, you're missing new.search mediation at the top, or using an older or partial SDK or to ensure it's correct. Right, okay, no typos, okay, that's fine. Open package manager in the drop down choose unit registry, check for unit mediation, latest version unit 2.0. If it's not there or partially installed, hit install or remove, then reinstall, which we've just done. Let unit recompile fully. You can also manually install it using Git. Try manually typing enum. Unity.services.mediation.banner at anchor. Unity.med. That's unity.services.mediation. Yeah, so mediation is definitely not opening. I think there's something wrong with the way that package is installing now. That's far too many issues. The SDK might be outdated. Your project's missing required Unity packages. Okay. It is not available in auto complete. about Unity 2022.3.52F1. Wow, that's a hell of a build version. We'll try just 2203. Using Unity. And the mediation is under the package manager. And services, settings for services. Okay, window and package manager. 8.10.1. Ads mediation 8.10.1. Okay. 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 Right, so it seems to think I try something else then. So Control A, Control V. Interesting. Game keys, so over here. It's that one. No. That one. And game keys, the project ID maybe. Copy and then let's try that. Okay, and save. Back into Unity and see what errors it gives me now. Okay, close that one. And it gives me even more errors. To be fair, they were warnings. Okay, so I think I can remove Ad Manager because I don't think it's serving any purpose for me. Let's go over here, stats.canvas. No, it's Stats Manager, wasn't it? Yeah, let's remove the Ad Manager. Okay, so that shouldn't be referenced anywhere. If I save this. However, I will go in and I will delete the file as well. Wait for it to recompile. And we've got more errors. So I dropped the Ad Manager. definitely think we need to rethink, or I need to learn how to do this from scratch. I don't think ChatGPT is helping with this at all.
Nah.
Okay, so replace your game key from unit and dashboard under level play. So again, okay. Did that work? It's still compiling. It's still compiling. Okay. Mediation requires mobile dependency. Oh, now it gives me an error to import things. Import the package.
This seems so much more complicated than it should be.
Oh, definitely. 100% more complicated than it should be. Us being noobs obviously doesn't help, eh? A moment, let's import the assets. So something I was looking at and I had actually started was the idea that we could create a basic template for our games. So one that shows the intro, one that then brings up a main menu. Inside the main menu, it's got settings for sound, volume controls, things like that. Maybe even the banner ads and stuff set up.
Basically, there's a start game button that basically just loads in whatever game with.
Yeah, and then we just need to go in and drop in like the graphics and make the minor changes to things like that. So that at least the base game, they all start the same. Yeah. Ooh, we have 4 people watching. People have dropped. We apparently have 4 people watching, which would suggest that people have dropped off. My laptop sounds like it's trying to take off. So I wonder what's actually hammering it.
Wonder how long it would take to compile a game the size of like Call of Duty or something. That'd be hours, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely. But to be fair, I think that in their case they've probably got it. It's probably compiled in sections. So Brave and Edge using most of my CPU with OBS and then Unity.
So it's probably Teams in it
Um,
that's hammering it. Because that's what you'll have it on. That's what you'll have Edge on it. Sorry, Meet on.
yeah, that'll be why Edge is getting hammered. I'm just curious. Okay, so still get errors. I love how to try and do something really simple. Like I thought this would be paste some code and drop in a user interface icon. We're now nearly 2 hours into it and we're no further forward. Like in 10 minutes' time, I think I'm going to be giving up for this episode. I mean, the game's still running, so it's not broke the game. It's just not really showing us what we need to do. Like we wanted to show an ad. I mean, everything else here appears to be as expected. You see what I mean about the animation?
Aye.
It pops when I roll over it. Okay, so we've not broke the game. I mean, I suppose that's good. But the errors also appear to have disappeared from the bottom as well. So does that mean if I open the code? It's not really telling me anything, but you know. Okay. Well, that's progress. There's no errors anymore. So what did a date make a date tell us? Yes, show me the full code. Jesus, my machine's lagging.
See if you want, just because I can watch it through YouTube. If you want to just stop streaming the video for mates and just keep the voice.
I'll be honest, I don't know if that's what the problem is, to be fair. It could be, though, because I'm probably trying to stream to you at 4K, because it's a 4K monitor, so that might actually be it. I'll tell you what I'll do, is I'll stop sharing just now, and we'll see if, without changing anything else, we'll see if my laptop comes down. So that's me stop sharing. Give it a moment, 2, and then we'll see if my laptop comes down. I mean, to be fair, this laptop's 6 years old.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Like, and I hammer it. It's not like it's babied. Right, let me just. Come on, that's not what I meant. Task manager. No, I'm still sitting at 94%, so it didn't make that much of a difference. Okay, so stats add manager.cs. Let's try that. I mean, this is definitely where knowledge beats AI. Because I'm betting somebody who's done this before will be like, lol.
Aye.
Okay. Interesting. And there we go, we've got errors right away, and that's it generating new code. Save that. Okay, let's see what else it needs to do. Attach it to the stats control panel. I think it was stats manager it should be attached to be fair. Stats add manager, what's that one? Okay. Place your game queue, that's game, okay. use it in your stats.cs. Okay. And what was that one? That's control panel.cs. Okay. So, is there already a stats control panel.cs? No, there's not. Game object stats panel, game object main menu panel. So, okay, hold on. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, 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 Z. See, it wants them up here. Right, so I don't need to copy all of that, right? It wants me to copy some game object stats panel. They're already there. Stats panel, main menu panel. So they're already there. So it's a stat add manager that's new. Okay, and it's add manager.show banner, which will be that one there. And add manager.hide banner. Okay. All right. Add the stats add manager script to a game object in your scene, e.g. add manager. Assign the reference in your stats panel controllers inspector under add manager. Make sure your game key is set in the script if you're initializing manual. Okay. So add stats manager to game object. In your scene. Let's go back then. So stats add manager is set to a game object. It's set to my stats panel controller. Assign the reference in the stats panel controllers inspector under add manager. I don't understand that line. So here's add manager, show banner, destroy banner, on banner, load on banner, failed, show banner. Um, Uploads once per session unless destroyed. Once per session? You probably want to destroy that then, don't you? Okay. Game key's been set. So assign the reference in the stats panel controllers inspector. Okay, so is there something under my stats panel control in there? Panel, app version, DB version. Stats panel, enclosed panel. No, I don't see it. So I'm not sure how it's meant to work out where you're meant to put it. Okay, let's just say. Can you elaborate on this? Right. I'm going to close some more browsers. Hey, Spike. No, not on top of my mouse. Our chief of security needs sacked. You're interfering with company property. He's sitting purring like, sounds like a you problem to me. In your status control panel script, you have the line. Okay. Do it. That's the wrong damn thing. Stats Ad Manager. Where is that meant to be getting called from? Because I'm very confused. Stats Panel Controller. Okay. Make sure both scripts are attached to the game object. Stats Panel Controller is usually attached to the Stats Manager or UI game object. Stats Ad Manager should be attached to our game object, e.g. name it Ad Manager. Okay, so Stats Ad Manager is here. Okay. Select the game object with Stats Panel Controller script. In the hierarchy, click on Object Script, e.g. Stats Manager. Look in the inspector, you'll see Stats Panel Controller Script component. Under it, you'll find a field labeled Ad Manager. This comes with public Stats Ad Manager. Drag the game object as the Stats Ad Manager script, e.g. Ad Manager, into that field. It's there. Wow. Let me know if you'd like a quick video style visual or want to convert this into a reusable singleton pattern for all ads. Interesting. So select the game object that has a stats panel controller on it. Right, so that would be Stats Manager. Or maybe not. Okay, so Stats Panel Controller. What is Stats Panel Controller linked to? It'd be nice if it showed you what it was linked to, wouldn't it? Pretty sure it's linked to one of these. Yeah, Stats Panel Controller is linked to that. Okay. Under it, you'll see a field labeled Ad Manager. This comes from a public statement Ad Manager. No. Okay. I don't see Ad Manager. Over 2 hours for this episode, and we've achieved nothing. Stats panel controller.cs. Stats panel controller.cs. Yeah. Static stat add manager, add manager. Uh-huh. Okay. Been marked public, being the class body, not inside a method. Uh-huh, that's correct. Save the file, go back to Unity, let it compile, which I have. Is that what it needs the stats panel? Oh, doesn't appear. Let me do it anyway. No, Control Z on that. Right, new add manager. Drag your stats add manager block into the add component and stats manager and the union those key modules required. Make sure you have a game object with stats add manager attached. Yep. Drag your stats add manager script onto the object or click add component stats manager. And higher, if you click the game object that's stats panel controller script, likely your stats panel, stats manager are similar. In Inspector, you should see stats panel controller script add manager. This is where you assign it. No. Okay. I think it's time to call this one.
Aye. It just seems like it should be a lot easier than this.
Oh, definitely should be for something like that. Definitely should be. I'm going to bring my sound down a bit because I appear to be clipping. And bring yours down a bit too because you appear to be clipping. Okay. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I think we're done for tonight. And again, there's going to be, episodes where we don't manage to do anything at all. But I think we should save off this episode.
Aye. I think I'm going to try and get up a bit earlier before I go to work tomorrow and maybe make a start on mine. Episode 1.
Yeah.
Just decide what
Just
idea
pick
I
a
want
game.
to go with. Aye.
Well, what we can do is we can go off stream if you want, and we can actually generate a logo, and I can create a thumbnail template for you. Just so you've got an easier thumb. All our thumbnails are roughly the same, and we can do some pre-setup for you just to make it a bit easier. Yeah. Okay. Well, sorry guys, that didn't quite work out as planned. I guess we need to learn a bit more about Unity's ads at this point in time and monetization. And I've got to admit, if it's this difficult to put banner ads in, I'm going to absolutely hate it when we're putting in app purchases in.
Oh, aye.
But hopefully between the two of us, we're going to be able to tag team it and we're going to be able to move on. And hopefully that'll make it easier because we're both learning. But with that in mind, thank you for your attention. And I shall let you all go. And if you liked the video, then obviously like and comment. If you've got any feedback on how terrible programmers we are, by all means, throw it up in the comments. That's the idea. The more interaction we get, the better. And hopefully we'll get better at this going forward. And these will be more entertaining. But with that in mind, thank you for your time, and we shall see you in the next one.
Catch you later.
Try and navigate past the kitten's tail to stop things. We're